Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today's video is just going to be a chatty update video, a cozy one with a cup of tea. I've got a chocolate digestive tea and it smells very malty and chocolatey and delicious. So I'm going to drink this, and I thought I would give you a bit of an update on our travel plans for the new year. Also my work goals and my reading goals. I thought I'd give you a little update on my zines and on my shop in general. Because my last video was about making the zine and I've got a little update. Lastly, I thought I would share with you a brand new publishing project that has just been published, and I received my copy in the mail. It's a big coffee table book. It was kind of like a project that pushed me outside of my comfort zone, and I nearly wanted to quit. I nearly felt like I needed to write to the art director and say, I just can't do this. Like, I've never really had that before. I've always been able to push through, but this one, it was kind of like a little mini crisis of confidence. I'm so glad that I persevered and didn't quit, because I'm actually really happy with how everything turned out. First, let's do a quick travel update. This is probably the best time of our year. We get really excited about being able to do this, and that's kind of amazing because January, February used to be the worst months of the year for me. So in just a few days' time, in very early January, we're going to be setting sail from England to France, beginning our long drive through France. I feel guilty every time I describe this because we kind of like rush through France. I know France is a beautiful country, but we're always there at the worst time of year, January. We just end up driving straight through the middle of it to get to Spain, because I guess we're in search of that winter sun. We'll be making our way all the way down to southern Spain, spending more time in Andalusia. We love it there. Just enjoying some small town Andalusian life in the mountains. And then after that, we will be taking a ferry across to Marruecos, Morocco, a country we've never been to before, and we're going to be spending about 3 or 4 weeks exploring there. I'm really excited. I've had some travel tips from my patrons, but I would always love to hear more. If you've travelled to Morocco, where you would recommend we go. I guess like tips on eating, because I am assuming that it's going to be a bit of a challenge eating vegan. After that, we'll be going back into Spain and then going north, because we really want to enjoy northern Spain in the spring. So we're going to have about a month then in northern Spain, in Galicia, Asturias, and a bit of Basque Country as well. But yeah, just exploring the mountains and small towns again, that's our preference. If you have any tips about those places as well, let us know. If all goes to plan, that's what we'll be doing. There are obviously things that could go wrong, and there's also quite a lot of things we need to sort out in terms of the dogs and paperwork in order for us to get across to Morocco. Let me know if you've travelled with dogs to Morocco. I would be especially interested to hear your experience. So that's our travel plans. Really excited. My reading goals, I'll put some of my TBR up on the screen now if you want to see some books I'm planning on reading, because I'm hoping to start the new year by reading a lot. There'll be long travel days where I can read, so that's what I'm going to do. And I've also started a profile over on Storygraph, so if you want to follow me there, I will leave that linked in the description, and I will follow you back as well. My work plans for the new year, obviously a lot of it is unknown because it depends on what client work I receive. Who knows what will happen in the new year. But in terms of my own personal work, there is something that I really want to carry on with, and something that's really brought a lot of joy and satisfaction to me in 2024, and that was making connections. So as you know, I recently published a zine. It's called 2 Scottish Summers. I've just done a restock in my Etsy shop, so if you would like to order one, please do. I would say that they're going to sell out fairly soon. I just did a little restock, and once I've sold out, I've sold out, because I don't think I will reprint for a long time anyway. I get a lot of job satisfaction from making zines, and I've had some really amazing reviews on Etsy so far, so thank you so much if you left me a review. One of my patrons in particular messaged me to say that they felt a connection with me and my work whilst reading the zine, and that's really just like the ultimate goal for me with making zines, is having a connection with people. I've said for years about zines and how it would be a dream if they could replace our social media feeds, because I think as artists and with the nature of our work, we can be quite isolated, and we do need to spend quite a lot of time on our own working, and we tend to be introverts as well, so there's a bit of that. But obviously we seek connection with each other. We find a lot of that online using social media apps. But obviously those are billionaire owned. There are ulterior motives with those apps. They are farming our attention and our data. I just think that zines do away with a lot of the negative sides of social media. And yeah, I buy zines from artists as well. It's like a little slice of their brains and their thought process and their creative expression. It's a lovely break from screens, and yeah, it's a way of like supporting artists without needing to have a huge budget. It's a way of artists creating that connection with their audience as well. So that's one of my main goals of 2025, is to carry on building connections and making little connections with other artists and art enjoyers around the world. So I hope to make another zine. I hope to yeah, I really do hope to make a zine quicker than I have done with my last two. There was a 2-year gap between the two zines, and I don't really want, that's not ideal. At the same time, I can't force my ideas, I know that. But I'm hoping that by creating a bit more every day, like having a bit more of a regimented creative practice, that might speed things up a bit. So I'm kind of nervous to say this because I'm not sure how feasible it is, but I would like to have a sketch every day, at least while we're traveling internationally. And I don't know whether I'll be able to produce a sketch every day, but I'd like to photograph something from my day that I then draw in my sketchbook. Alongside zines, I think I'm leaning more towards original artwork, again for connection reasons. I think that getting reproductions and prints of your work made can be a bit impersonal sometimes, because they are mass-produced. Obviously not to the scale that most things are mass-produced, but you are producing them multiple times, producing the same image multiple times, whereas an original, it's the only one to exist. Obviously they're going to be a bit more expensive, but yeah, there is that personal element. And yeah, I guess the last thing to share with you is the new book that is out now. It's with Lonely Planet. This is Tree Atlas by Lonely Planet, and it's a gorgeous coffee table-sized book, and it's all about amazing trees around the world. I love that I get commissioned to produce so many tree-based things, because I love trees and I love learning about them. So yeah, this is called the Tree Atlas, the world's most amazing trees and where to find them. Written and compiled by arboreal expert Matthew Collins, the head gardener at London's Garden Museum. The Tree Atlas is your key to discovering 50 of the world's most amazing types of trees. Whether taking in the beautiful cherry blossoms of Japan or a beech forest's seasonal hues in France and Spain's Basque region, love the Basque country, we'll show you where and when to be around these spectacular trees. The Tree Atlas highlights specific locations so you can take a trip to be dwarfed by the monumental sequoias of California or the kuri trees of New Zealand. Witness the relationship between people and trees in Portugal's cork oak forests and the recovery of China's golden ginkgos. With authoritative profiles for each species, maps, gorgeous full-page photography and bespoke illustrations by Holly Exley, you'll learn how to identify each tree. So this is very exciting. I'm really excited that I was able to work on this. There's lots of my spot illustrations in this book, which is kind of like my bread and butter. I feel very comfortable painting spot illustrations, but something that was outside of my comfort zone, if I can find an example, were these huge double-page landscape paintings. Ah, you see those? I produced these whilst we were travelling through Bosnia, and we had to check into a few different apartments so that I could work flat out on producing the paintings for this book. And I didn't have anywhere to get big enough paper, definitely didn't have paper this size, so I was strictly using A4 paper and then piecing it together digitally, and I only have an A4 scanner as well, because obviously I can't carry around an A3 scanner in the van. So yeah, I was working with very minimal supplies and tools, so it was definitely a huge learning curve, but I am really, really happy with the quality. The print quality is beautiful. I'm really happy with how they've used my illustrations. I've also designed the end papers in this book. I think I am most proud of the double spreads. Here's another one. Look at that. But yeah, the print quality is lovely. I couldn't be more happy. I'm proud. and excited. Let me know if you see this book out and about, and let me know what you think of it. Oh, I've even got my own page. Holly tree. That's the end of my update. I thought I had more to say, but maybe short and sweet is okay. Here's my zine. I've been very busy folding the zine over Christmas, just whilst we're watching films and stuff. So I have a little selection here. I'm just using up plastic sleeves that I have had for a long time. They're not biodegradable, these ones, but hopefully you could reuse them if you wanted to. But that's just all I've got in stock at the moment, and it's better to use the things you have rather than buy new. Thank you so much to everyone who's supported the launch of my zine so far. I had a really great response and I was quite nervous about it. I don't know. I think I'm building back my confidence now. And I'm definitely feeling like really positive about the new year in terms of travel, in terms of my work, in terms of like my very small personal sphere. Something I'm less positive about is the state of the world. And I guess one thing I'd like to finish this video on, for those of you that are still watching, is by highlighting some families in Gaza that I'm trying to advocate for. Firstly, Amir al-Sakali and his family. I've spoken a lot about them, but they are definitely still looking for funds. I'll leave their fundraiser linked below. It's managed by my husband Craig. And also Amir's brother is called Ahmed. He has a wife and they are expecting their first child. Like most of the population of Gaza right now, they are living in a tent and they're going to be welcoming their first child into the world. So they really need support and donations. Also would like to highlight Mohammed's fundraiser. His fundraiser is being managed by one of my patrons and one of my online friends, Jamie. He is a young man, he has a wife, he lives with his wider family, lots of little mouths to feed, and they really need donations. And then lastly, Mahmoud is someone who I've set up a fundraiser for and I'm advocating for. They're struggling with getting enough donations in order to feed their cat, so their cat is losing weight. They've also been suffering with illness in the family as well, so they really need your support. All of these families definitely need your support. So if you have the means to, please split your donations 4 ways if you can, or choose 1 or 2 or 3 fundraisers to support. I would be so grateful. Please don't forget the people of Gaza. That is all from me today. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please let me know what kind of content you would like me to make for the new year. Please let me know your own art goals for the new year. I'd love to hear. And thanks for watching. Thank you to my patrons, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye.